Welcome back to the Dynamite Any% Speedrunning Guide. In this part we will cover the quest named the Saviours, which is a pretty short quest, however it's heavily stacked with different auto-bound stuff and different trigger magic, so this section might be a run killer because if you are not careful enough with triggers you might miss some of them, and this game doesn't really like sequence breaking, so you might just as well ended up being soft locked. So let's jump into the game and see how it goes. So in previous part we left after save warping to the On the Hooks quest. So as the same as previous save warp to the On the Hooks, we can try black screen movement to back and left. After pressing spacebar, I will try to run forward left and we'll do a sharp turn to the left. So let's try it. Back and left, press spacebar, start running forward and turning to the left. Also, if you was way too fast in previous section, especially with taking back and sorting your inventory without visiting spike, you might still be affected by your seizure, which means you won't be able to run, and most importantly, you won't be able to grapple. So be careful with it. Pay attention to your grappling hook crosshair. If you see that everything is ungrabbable surface, that means you are still under the influence of the seizure, and this might screw you up. And for example, if you want to do this jump and try grappling, you'll fall down, and well, that's not a good thing because you will have to climb back up. You can try jumping like this. With speed potion, you should be able just enough, have just enough speed to make this, because you also won't be able to sprint. So be careful. Maybe it will be better just to wait for a sec, and then when you can run and can use your grappling hook, just grapple like this. Then grapple this fence, grapple this thing. Try not falling down like me. Jump on this fence and grapple this house. Knock on the door and start skipping the dialogue. After you skip the dialogue, you have to wait for some time. You can change quest to Gust Up, which is always one switch up from On the Hooks quest, so you can do it like this by quickly pressing quest walk up and spacebar escape. While this guy is speaking, and if you are level 4 or less agility, you can try grinding some XP here. Also, if you are unlucky like me and you still don't have a plastic, try searching this basket. Still unlucky. When you can hear nobody is speaking, jump back. Drinking potion is not required, but well, you can try it as well. Start a dialogue and match spacebar to skip it. We already selected Gust Up, so quit out immediately. In this save warp, we want to start going backwards during the black screen, and we'll try to do some back dodges during the black fade-in animation. Well, as soon as you can start seeing, turn around and start grappling your way forward. Jump on those buses. If you fall down, it's not a big deal. Just grapple your way forward, because grappling hook is faster. Grapple this van, grapple the next van, and enter this door. In this black screen part, you want to hold Shift and W, but after pressing spacebar, you'll get stuck into the corner, so I want to, after pressing spacebar, I want to start going slightly to the left and doing a slight turn to the left as well. So let's press spacebar and do a slight turn left. Like this. So after we start knocking this door, we will start and skippable cutscene, so we can skip it with a spacebar and pay attention to your checkpoint indicator. As soon as it shows up, quit out. Why we are doing this? The guy with which we are speaking during the cutscene will start slowly moving towards the point where we have to stand and where we can speak with him again. We don't want to wait him, so by quitting out and loading back into the game, we will skip his moving cycle, so he'll be instantly teleported all the way forward and he'll be waiting for us to speak with. Also, pay attention to your speed potion duration. If you're just about to run out of speed booster or you're already out of speed potion influence, you can try quitting out twice. And all this will teleport you slightly forward, right next to this guy, which we'll have to speak with. If you stuck with speed potion, you can try quitting out once and just do a blasting movement because quitting out twice won't save you that much time since you're fast anyway. So since I have plenty of speed potion, I'll just hold space to skip, quit out. As soon as I see checkpoint indicator, press continue. And with the speed potion active, I want to hold Shift WA, press spacebar, and after pressing spacebar, I want to start doing left dodges like this. Speak with this guy, he has an insanely short dialogue, only one line, so you can just press spacebar once, or since we have to walk towards this direction, you can press F and start holding left and mashing spacebar to do a side dodge after the dialogue, like this. Jump on this pipe, turn right, clip through the fence, and fall down. You're technically still inside the safe zone, so you cannot use your grappling hook, and we have to grapple our way up. However, safe zone ends by this point, so what you have to do is jump outside the safe zone and try to grapple the ceiling here, like this. So you end here. Get into the pipe, turn left, stay somewhere over here and try aiming around here. If we are lucky, we'll get out of bounds clip first try with our grappling hook, which we did. And at this point, you want to jump forward left and try to grapple the wall behind this rock. We just can't see it right now because obviously rock blocks us and grappling rock doesn't give us anything. So when we grapple the wall behind, we want to land on the pipe under us in order to touch the trigger, which is required. If you miss this trigger, we will soft lock the game. How do we know that we touch the trigger? The dialogue will start, and we will hear dialogue, and we will see subtitles. So this is the indicator that we did everything correctly. So let's try it. Jump like this, grapple the wall. I don't want to grab it. I want to fall down. So I was slightly late on the grappling hook cancellation, and we can hear the dialogue with Hazan. Walk down from the pipe and start walking, hugging this pipe. Why do we do this? Because as you can see for now, there are no zombies at all. However, if you start hugging the pipe, the zombies have spawned. This is a second trigger, which is unnecessary to hit. Without it, we will also soft lock. Grapple your way up. Jump on this pipe, and then we want to grapple this plane. Why do I jump here instead of just going like this and grappling? Sometimes game decides to throw you and sucks you inside this cliff, from which you cannot get out. Basically, you end up being soft lock once again. You have to quit out and start again. Since we hit 2 checkpoints here, you'll be put somewhere around this point, so you also won't be able to clip out of bounds like this before, unless you try to backtrack to the location we clipped initially. So because of this, for the safety reasons, I like to jump to the right and then jump in and grappling this plane, walk forward, Pay attention that there is no zombie yet, so we need to fall onto this pipe in order to hit another trigger, which will spawn this zombie and activate the second trigger over here. Once again, we cannot skip any of those triggers because we'll end up being soft locked. Despite quests telling us to move almost 200 meters forward, that's a lie. So fall here, we can see a zombie, grapple here, we can hear a toad, grapple forward. So far we hit everything. If that toad spawned and can start screeching at you, that means you did everything right. So after going into this doorway, turn right, stand near this wall, turn back to this wall, and walk up. This out of bounds clip is kind of tricky, however, there is a reliable setup how to do it first try. So if you stand somewhere in the middle of the wall, hold backwards, do a back dodge, and as soon as you press space to do a back dodge, press grappling hook to jump like this. With this setup, this is you're most likely to hit it first try. However, if you don't like this setup, you might also try grappling this point. So let's imagine you jump over this thing and try grappling this wedge. You might find it easier for you. I find it better for me to do this setup. It's up to you how to do it. It's more or less the same time to do both of the clips. Then you have to run forward. You can stick on this line. If you are extremely desperate for finding plastic, there is actually a couple of baskets out of bounds. You cannot search this basket because it has well, you actually do, but you start falling down. I was unlucky once again. I can try searching this. Unlucky once again. So we jump down in a shame. We still don't have plastic. Run forward. Try sticking to the middle of this section, which is this line. What we want to do now, there is another trigger on top of this pipe. You can barely see it through the fence, but there is a pipe which has another trigger which we'll have to touch in order to proceed. Pay attention to the bottom right corner once again for the checkpoint indicator. If you can see it, that means you did everything right, you hit the trigger. So what we want to do is to fall down like this. We land on a pipe. We can see it because there is this gray plane which has no collision, but it blocks the view for us on the pipe. Because of this, I like to fall down following this line, fall down and walk backwards so I won't lose the track of the pipe, because if I try to turn back, walk forward and then turn back again, if I do it quickly, I may accidentally fall down and basically be in a soft walk state because there is nothing you can grapple to get back. So fall down, try going a couple steps backwards. I can see checkpoint indicator, which means I hit the trigger and start running forward. Also, the dialog starts if you did everything correctly. Next, the game wants you to open this drawer and fall down into the swimming section. Swimming is the slowest way of moving in this game. We don't want this. Also, this gate takes ages to open, which also a bad thing. We can do escape for this, but there is a pretty tricky out of bounds jump here. So if you're not feeling comfortable with this jump, just clip inside, and or you can even skip doing this out of bounds stuff altogether. Just go casually, open this grate and fall down. If you want to try some advanced stuff, you can try doing this all out of bounds sequence. So what we have to do here, there is another trigger which we have to hit. It's located somewhere on the water level over here and really close to the wall. So what we want to do is to keep running on this pipe somewhere around this thing sticking outside. We want to jump left, turn right, and grapple this wall, while trying to maintain the water level and being close to the wall. Once again, pay attention to the bottom right corner. You want to see checkpoint indicator. If you can see it, you did everything fine. You are good to go. If you missed it, well, it will be a time for a backup strats. You can try to get back and hit it again. If you fall down, well, sucks for you. You're soft lock now officially. Everything you can do is just quit out, and game will put you at the entrance to this pipe. So you just have to keep going casually, because you just end up wasting more time clipping out of bounds back and going this way instead of just going casually. So let's try doing it in one take. Let's imagine I just hit the trigger, I'm running forward, jump left, grapple this wall, touch the trigger. I can see checkpoint indicator, which means I did everything fine. Also, I can hear the music changes. If you failed to hit the trigger, you can try grappling edge of this wall, but be careful to not clip inside. It's a tricky wall. It likes to suck you inside in bounds, which will basically ruin everything you just did. So when we hit the trigger, the music starts playing. We still can see any enemies. However, there should be an ambush for us. In order to spawn enemies, we have to touch another trigger, which is located on just at the exit of this pipe. Without this trigger, we cannot proceed, unfortunately. So there's a setup for this. If you turn off your flashlight, you can see clearly the black line. If you have a flashlight, there is a line with somewhat darker color. So align yourself to this line, walk up to this car, start strafing. You can see enemies are now spawned. You can see them on the minimap. Kill this guy. You have to kill this guy in particular. You don't care about anybody else. Just this one guy on the bridge. Sometimes you may fall back in bounds. Well, sucks for you. Once again, you have been extremely unlucky. This happens rarely with this setup, but it may happen. Just keep swimming. That's everything you can do. Also, there's another setup in this corner. Once again, look at this black stripe, and you can try touching trigger from this side, so you can be slightly closer. However, I find it less reliable because most of the times I end up falling back in bounds. So for me, this black line is the reliable setup. So after you killed this guy, run here. You want to jump on this pipe. If you are not feeling comfortable with grappling hook cancellation, just jump on it. Take fall damage, it's fine, it's just a second or two, whatever. If you are an experienced Dynamite enjoyer, you can try canceling your momentum by grappling here. Like this. This way we will prevent any fall damage, so we can keep going. Now we can't see any water, however, trust me, there is a big chunk of water. So as soon as I start moving forward, we will start swimming. Once again, swimming is the slowest way of moving in this game. So we will have to improvise on how to speed it up. One thing you can try doing is try aiming somewhere over here and mesh your grappling hook. So as soon as I enter the water, the game gives you a couple of fraction of seconds to do a grappling hook. If you are lucky, you're able to grapple the ground and pull your way towards with skipping swimming. If you are not that lucky, well, just keep swimming. I was unlucky, so I just can't keep swimming. As you can see, swimming is extremely slow, however, we can slightly increase swimming speed. What we have to do is to swim near the flat surface. It can be floor or it can be ceiling, it doesn't matter. If it's a floor, hold the crouch button to speed up slightly. So you can see a noticeable speed up when I am holding crouch. The same thing with if you're hugging the ceiling, just hold the spacebar. So you jumped into the water, you want to swim like this, then you want to swim on top of this pipe and hug it until you get back in bounds. If you haven't heard the door kicking sound, that means you still somehow missed the trigger. Try walking slightly backwards towards this wall, towards this door. Walk into this door, grapple your way in. Grapple your way up. Skip those guys by grappling over here. Jump over the railing and grapple up. After interacting with this door, we finished with Saviours quest and we successfully started second half of the game. So if you did this under 1 hour, congratulations, congrats, well done, you did well. If you're not, well, keep practicing and you'll come to it. So hold F to enter the old town, and that's it for the Saviours quest. So make sure to practice autobound stuff because trigger stuff is pretty tricky. It ends up killing a lot of runs if left unpracticed, so it can be easily practiced by starting the game from the quest Saviours. It will put you slightly back, you have to speak with Jank and then get back into the servers, but it takes like 2 minutes at best, so it's not a big deal. Practice this section and you'll be good to go. So that was it for this part. I'll see you in the next part when I'll cover basically 2 missions at once, because next 2 missions are extremely short. So next part will cover 2 missions at the same time, and as for this part, that was it. So I will see you in the next video.